Welcome to the Dr. Ben channel. In today's video, we're going to share with you a true story that's both inspiring and practical. About an elderly man who discovered a golden key to better health through a small but powerful superfood: walnuts. You won't just hear about his journey of transformation, completely natural and without medication, but also learn why walnuts are highly recommended by nutrition experts around the world, especially for seniors. Let's begin the journey to improving your quality of life, starting with simple, healthy dietary choices. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel, turn on the notification bell, so you never miss out on our weekly tips for senior health and wellness from Dr. Ben. There's a truth that many elderly people often keep to themselves: the helpless feeling when health slowly slips out of their grasp. Richard, a 68-year-old man who once taught history in Florence, now lives a peaceful life with his wife, Laura, in a small house on the outskirts of Milan. He doesn't suffer from any major illness, but he's no longer as energetic as he used to be. Every morning, he feels the stiffness in his joints. His memory isn't as sharp, and sometimes disrupted sleep leaves him awake in the middle of the night without knowing why. He had tried many methods: taking multivitamins, walking regularly, cutting back on sugar and salt. But the improvements were minimal. Until one day, a chance encounter with Alessandro, an old friend from university, now a nutrition expert in Switzerland, completely changed his life. "I'm serious, Richard," Alessandro said, placing a hand on his shoulder. "You should try eating walnuts every day. It might sound simple, but the benefits are anything but small." Richard laughed, thinking his friend was joking. How could such a tiny nut make any real difference? "Don't underestimate it," Alessandro continued, his eyes earnest. "This is one of the best foods for older adults. It's good for your heart, your brain, your sleep, and even your joints. And the best part? It's 100% natural, no chemicals, no prescriptions." That was when Richard decided to give it a try. A small decision, but the beginning of a much bigger journey. From the day he decided to start experimenting with walnuts, Mr. Richard embarked on a journey full of surprises. At first, he was not used to the characteristic taste of this nut: slightly fatty, nutty, and slightly creamy. But instead of eating it raw, as Mr. Alessandro suggested, he chose to incorporate them into his familiar meals. A few crushed walnuts sprinkled on his morning oatmeal, a small handful with yogurt, or mixed into a vegetable salad every lunch. Gradually, walnuts became an indispensable part of his daily diet. Mr. Richard began to incorporate walnuts into his meals, sprinkled on porridge, mixed in salads, eaten with yogurt. At the same time, he learned more about this nut through scientific research. A 20-year study from the U.S. showed that regular consumption of walnuts reduces the risk of death from heart disease by 25%, improves memory, controls diabetes, and supports neurological health. After 2 weeks, he clearly saw the difference: better sleep, less joint pain, and more energy. A month later, his health indicators improved. His wife Laura also became interested and tried many new dishes with walnuts with him. From there, Richard inspired his friends and neighbors. Richard did not stop at eating. The story with Alessandro inspired him to learn more about this miraculous nut. Every day, he spent some time reading books, looking up scientific articles, watching videos from nutritionists and international doctors. The statistics and decades of research really amazed him. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition followed more than 200,000 people for 20 years. The results showed that people who regularly consumed nuts, especially walnuts, had a 25% lower risk of dying from heart disease. Not only that, people who ate nuts at least 5 times a week were also less likely to suffer from diseases such as diabetes, cancer, and neurological disorders such as Alzheimer's. Richard realized that the miracle did not come from a big change, but from a small thing: the habit of eating a few walnuts every day. He started keeping a health diary, recording positive changes. Every morning, after a snack of yogurt and walnuts, he took a light walk around the park. He found his mind clearer, less forgetful, and his emotions more stable. He shared this experience at seminars for seniors, giving small talks where people discussed healthy eating. His story is not just about nutrition. It is about awakening, a journey of learning how to live proactively with old age. Why? Walnuts are rich in plant-based omega-3 south, essential fatty acids that naturally fight inflammation, lower bad cholesterol, protect the heart, and improve brain function. They also contain powerful antioxidants, vitamin E, melatonin, and minerals such as magnesium, copper, and zinc, all of which play important roles in maintaining health in older adults. After about 2 weeks of regular maintenance, Mr. Richard began to notice small but clear changes. The feeling of fatigue in the morning was no longer persistent. Sleep came faster and deeper. In particular, his knee joints no longer hurt as before, even when the weather turned cold. The change surprised and delighted him. Perhaps what Mr. Alessandro shared was not a coincidence. Walnuts contain plant omega-3 fatty acids, polyphenols, melatonin, vitamin E, and magnesium. These substances help fight inflammation, improve cardiovascular, neurological, digestive, and sleep functions. Research from Harvard University shows that people who eat walnuts 5 times a week live longer and are healthier. Scientists explain that walnuts have a positive effect on cholesterol levels, blood pressure, blood sugar, and reduce oxidative stress. In particular, omega-3 helps enhance memory and slow down the aging process of nerve cells, something that the elderly need. A month later, when he went for a follow-up visit, the doctor was also surprised when his health indicators improved. Cholesterol decreased slightly, blood pressure was stable, and blood sugar was approaching normal levels. He couldn't help but smile as he told the doctor that he had changed only one thing in his diet: adding walnuts. Laura, who was skeptical at first, is now starting to take a closer look. She and her husband are looking for quality walnuts, trying out new recipes like walnut cookies, pumpkin soup with walnuts, and pesto with walnuts instead of pine nuts. The small kitchen is now a place of joy, hope, and bonding between the retired couple. And here are the benefits of walnuts. 10 amazing benefits of walnuts. 1. Good for the heart, thanks to omega-3 south and antioxidants. 2. Improves memory, nutrients that nourish brain cells. 3. Supports deep sleep, contains natural melatonin. 4. Anti-inflammatory, especially effective for arthritis. 5. Helps control weight, rich in fiber and protein, creating a feeling of fullness. 6. Increase resistance, thanks to vitamin E and zinc. 7. Protect bones, provide magnesium, copper. 8. Support digestion. Fiber promotes intestinal microflora. 9. Beautify the skin, antioxidants slow down aging. 10. Reduce the risk of diabetes. Support blood sugar regulation. From then on, Mr. Richard no longer kept this story to himself. During neighborhood meetings or community activities at the senior center near his house, he began to tell his journey. At first, a few people listened. Then many people asked for the recipe, asked for the address to buy the nuts. The story of walnuts was like a small wave, quietly spreading. A small change, a small nut, but brought a big change in Mr. Richard's life. And he believes that this is just the beginning. Richard's story spread throughout the community. Many seniors in Florence began adopting a new diet, adding walnuts to their daily diet. Nutrition sharing sessions became crowded. Some young people also became more concerned about their parents' health. Richard was invited to speak at a nursing home, and even appeared on the local news as a role model for aging well, thanks to a small change. For him, this was not just a personal journey, it was a message. Aging is not the end, but a new chapter that can begin with the choices you make every day. A man who once despaired about his health has now found the joy of living again. With just one small change, adding walnuts to his diet, he has improved his health, his spirit, and reconnected with his community. His story is a testament to the magic of natural nutrition. For everyone entering their twilight years, remember, It's never too late to start. And sometimes the simplest thing can make a difference. A handful of walnuts a day,